It's Naya and Jane here.
Hello, hello.
We're here to do a Facebook Live using the Cook Expert to make a rhubarb crumble and homemade vanilla custard.
Oh, yes.
The custard is an all-in-one recipe and it is super quick and really, really easy.
It really is. And we're going to start with, well, Naya's going to start with the rhubarb and I'm going to be doing a bit of the custard. The custard is the bit that takes the longest, so we're going to crack on and do that in a mo. But really great to see you all and welcome. And it's been lovely to come and do this because I haven't done one for a while, so I'm back. So that's really good. But again, as usual, talk to us. Got any questions?
Where are you from?
Yeah,
what recipes do you want to see from us?
Yeah. So, you know, the two of us, if this works, we might be pallying up a bit more.
We might be back again,
yeah,
but
or
we might
never do one again.
We'll see first. Let's just get this crumble done.
So, are you wanting to do your
Yes,
your
let's quickly
rhubarb
pop
first?
the rhubarb on. So this is really quick. We're just going for, so this is our rhubarb and this is 600 grams. We're just roughly chopped it. Doesn't really matter for a crumble. That's going straight in the bowl with some caster sugar for a little bit of sweetness. And then a squeeze of lemon. I know that the rhubarb will be slightly tart itself, but the lemon just brings out the flavours in the rhubarb and I quite like it.
It's nice to have a bit of tart.
Bit of something,
isn't it?
and then some vanilla bean paste just for that little flecks of vanilla. So just about half a teaspoon is great. So we're going to put that on, and we're going to stew this for about 5 minutes. So we'll go down to our screen. So we'll press OK on Expert. So 5 minutes is perfect. Then we're going to put it on for 1A and up to 110 degrees Celsius. So 1A is an alternating stir. So press auto. So it will stir and then it will stop. And it will just allow the rhubarb to sort of stew down a little bit, so it's not going to be really hard when you go into your crumble.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, that's literally it for your rhubarb, and that's going to be 5 minutes. So our custard. So Jane's going to run us through the custard,
which is not complicated. It's all in. So lid off. We've got some full fat milk. Pop that in. We've got 6 egg yolks. Pop those in. We've got caster sugar, but to be honest, it's fine to use whatever sugar you like.
Yeah.
No vanilla paste in this yet.
Oh, no, we are.
Yeah, I was going to say. So a wee bit. Okay, we've got no measuring, so Naya's going to measure for me here.
So just go on, I'll say stop.
Ready? Just
stop. That was perfect.
I'm so scared.
I think that was spot on.
So that's really great, and we'll get this going, and then we can.
That's it. Just really simple. 4 ingredients.
Simple. So we're in our. Let's wake you up. If you press any button, it will wake up brilliantly, and we're in expert mode here, and we're going to OK it, and we are going to go 15 minutes, and we're going to go on speed 4 for a very precise temperature of 82. Is that right, Naya?
Yes,
you can double
82
check
degrees.
what I'm saying. 82 degrees. Whizzy, whizzy, whizzy. If you keep your finger on it, it goes up a bit quicker. And 82, auto. How simple is that? So
That's
all
it.
in. So with a custard like this, you can play, this is such a great base.
Yeah.
You can play around with the flavours, such as chocolate. You could add Nutella, which I haven't done.
I've done it.
Naya told me about this.
It's actually lethal. Be careful when you do it.
So Nutella sounds fantastic.
Coffee custard. It's just a great dessert by itself, coffee custard.
It is, yeah.
Or over bananas.
And when
too many ideas.
Our heads are exploding. Isn't it? So when I tried this for the first time, and I've always used vanilla essence. Generally, I try and buy a good vanilla essence. And it wasn't until I tried this recipe that Naya put together that she suggested vanilla paste, which we've obviously just used. Oh my goodness, everybody. What a revelation.
Game changer.
Because if you're used to using the beans and you've got to cut it and split it, I know it's no bother. but just the fact you get all the little goodness in here of all the little seeds and everything like that. One, it looks so professional for
Doesn't
your custard.
it? With no effort at all, it makes it look
pour
so,
it, and then you've got the little seeds in it. It's so lovely. And it tastes divine. It's I think quite a more intense flavour. I could be wrong there, but do you think
I
so?
completely agree. I think it brings out the sweetness.
Yeah.
And I think, have you ever tried vanilla essence? Just like tried vanilla essence?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I did when I first used it.
I don't like it. It's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
This vanilla bean paste is so intensely vanilla, and it's got a little bit of sweetness to it itself.
Yeah.
And
You're
it's
not working
so
for them, by the
good.
way.
No, no, but I think I genuinely love it. I use it in all of my baking, so like cakes and everything like that. And I just love those little flecks that run through that
Really,
you
nice.
want and you get with a vanilla bean pod. But like you say, I always, when I'm doing it, I always cut it, or I cut myself, or I've got vanilla beans all over the table, which it's just so annoying when you look at the table and you're like, that's like £100.
Yeah, exactly. So,
of vanilla beans. So
really good little tip there. And also the other thing, which is a great revelation to me some time ago, was when you make your own custards, that's an ice cream base. So if you're into making ice cream, if you make a simple vanilla custard, you will make the best vanilla ice cream. It's just such a great base. And again, then you can, if you're making ice cream, if you've got an ice cream maker, or you do it by however you do it, you can add different fruits, you can add all your flavours. As you know, with ice cream, obviously it's endless. But this particular recipe is fab, just to make a great ice cream base. So yeah, and like we were saying, obviously I put this on 82 degrees. Fabulous thing about the Cook Expert, you've got your induction plate underneath your bowl here, and your degrees will go up in 1 degree increments either way.
So precise.
So precise.
Yeah.
So especially for baking, sugar work, custards, stuff like
Tempering
that.
chocolate.
Tempering chocolate.
Yeah, you need really precise sort of degrees for that.
Yeah.
And this makes it really, really easy.
So
You'll notice that this beeped. So that is our rhubarb stewed a little bit down. So it's just softened it to a point where when you put it into your baking dish, you're still going to make sort of a syrup in your baking dish, but it's just softened it a little bit. You can, I don't know if you can see, maybe you can see a syrup starting to form at the bottom. So when we're going to bake this, entirety, the crumble will be in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. So it will still get softer, but equally if you want to stew your rhubarb longer, by all means go for it. So I'm just going to pour that in. Oh, you can feel how soft they are.
Because you don't want it, I mean, you want it soft, but it's nice. Personally, I quite like to have that little bit of bite. If you don't want that, do it for another, like, we tried a few different timings on it, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And we did it for a little bit longer, and it was much more mushy, but just remember it's going in the oven anyway. But it's personal choice, but this worked for us, didn't
Yes.
it?
So, as you can see, this bowl has a little bit of residue from the rhubarb, but I don't care.
No.
I want that to just go straight into my crumble. So I don't want to get my hands dirty. I want to put all my ingredients in. I'm going to pulse it. It's going to take 10 seconds, and I'm going to put it on top.
So no rinsing in between, because obviously this does have a
Rinsing
rinsing program,
function.
which is
Yeah,
another
program.
little thing to remember. So we don't even have to do that. with
No.
this.
So that's really good for when sometimes I'm doing stews and things, and I want to then maybe make some meatballs to go into my sauce or whatever. I can do a quick rinse of the tomato and then start my onions or
Go straight
something.
in.
And it is really, really easy. It's just a 50-second program, and it will add a little bit of heat for you so that it will pick up anything from the bottom. But like I said, all this is goodness, we don't need to. So we're going to put some plain flour. So that's going straight in the bowl. And then some cold cubes of butter. And the reason why they're cold is so that they don't turn the flour and butter into a paste. We want it to still be sort of a crumbly crumble mixture so that it's got some texture. Yeah. And then we've got some demerara sugar. So I quite like this because it gives a bit of crunch to your crumble. So that's going in. And then a bit of caster sugar just to increase the sweetness again. So, and I also have some flaked almonds here, which I'm going to scatter. So I don't want to put that into my crumble mixture just now, because when we pulse it, we don't want all of our lovely flaked almonds to turn into sort of almond flour. So we're going to add them at the end. But I sometimes like to use oats or other nuts like chopped walnuts or pecans.
So you can just play around with what you want. Really.
Exactly.
That's a great base to start from, isn't it?
Yes. Really? I also like to make oat flour if I want it to be gluten-free, because I know you don't.
Yes,
eat
so
much
generally I'm a bit of a gluten-free person, and when we looked at this recipe, I thought, right, I'll make the crumble gluten-free. So any gluten-freeers out there, I would, next time, I would use maybe gluten-free oats, but what I found with doing it as a normal recipe, it went a bit mushy, because I think the gluten-free flour just absorbed everything. Once it had cooled down, it was lovely, but when it was still warm, I found it a bit mushy on the top. So I think I would switch that out and just use oats or add more nuts and that kind of thing. So play around with it, but that's the one thing I found being a gluten-free bod.
Yeah. So let's go down to the screen. So we're in expert mode. So what's really, really great is that you can still use this pulse button. For any of you who have your food processors at home and love it and don't want to switch it for a Cook Expert, well, you can still use your pulse button on this metal bowl, and it is just great for control. So I'm using this glass lid, shatterproof glass lid, and I can see through, and I'm going to press pulse. Am I? What's your lid? 1 second. There we go. So pulsing, and I'm looking through the lid to see those flecks of butter, how small they're getting. So I'm just going to keep going. This will take 5 to 10 pulses, and I'd say we're golden there.
Really? Wow.
Some nice little flecks of butter in there. And I always like to keep my bits of butter a little bit big, so that when they melt, it makes it really crunchy and
Because I think
golden.
I took it a bit further. I didn't need to
You absolutely
do that.
can.
Yeah.
You absolutely can. It's completely up to you. And everyone's made a crumble. Everyone's seen a crumble. So you completely can decide for yourself. So if I show you guys, so it's just a classic crumble mix. And I like to do this sometimes where I don't add the sugar. I'll add a pinch of salt, and I'll roast some vegetables. And then I'll put the crumble on top, or add some breadcrumbs sometimes, and just makes a nice, really, really easy weekday meal.
Yeah, that's a lovely idea.
Yes.
And would you add, to make it doing a savoury crumble, bit of cheese, bit of that sort of thing on it as well, or would that make it a bit much?
Oh no, absolutely.
Not
I
cheese,
love a bit of Parmesan in there,
just to give
because
it
it's a
little
hard
bite.
cheese.
Yeah.
But
not a cheddar or something. 'cause that might be too soft.
I mean, it would work. It would work, but it won't allow for that crunch.
Yeah. That's a good
but
idea.
just have the cheese on the side.
Yeah.
You don't have to not have the cheese.
Yeah, but not on this, obviously. Well, you can have it on here if you want.
So I'm just going to really carefully just sort of pile this over my rhubarb. I just sprinkled a few almonds in there, but I am going to add some more on top. And I love making my crumble mixture like double quantities, and then I'll just freeze half.
Oh, okay.
So that you've got a quick emergency pudding in your freezer
Emergency pudding.
whenever you need it. And I always say, so I'm going to stop there at that amount of crumble, because I don't want it to be I don't want there to be too much crumble ratio. What's your ratio? I go for I think a quarter crumbled, 3/4 rhubarb.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah?
Because I think you want the fruit is the
Star of the
isn't it,
crumble.
really? And that just tops it off nicely.
So what's going to happen with this is the rhubarb's going to create that syrup that we were sort of talking about, and it's going to bubble up the sides and come over the top, and you're going to have lovely crisp almonds on top. And I personally like that little bit of sogginess between the top of the crumble and the fruit. Yeah. That soggy bit in the middle.
My mouth is watering now.
That is the best bit.
That's
we
really
all don't
nice.
want to say that, but realistically, that's the truth.
And do you seal it all off, or it doesn't really matter, so it allows the sauce to bubble up?
I hope you guys can see it. But I quite like the sauce to bubble up, so I don't mind leaving some edge space, because I don't like to compact it in.
Yeah.
Never pat down a crumble.
Good call.
If you pat down a crumble, then Sorry, we can never speak again.
Will it just go too solid?
Yeah, I find it goes too solid,
Okay.
and you end up having just like a brick of crumble. Whereas this keeps it kind of light and just still that warming. Like, oh, I don't know, I can't even speak. Just think about it. It's made. It's made. I just need to put it in the oven. So that's your crumble. But you don't have to use rhubarb. If rhubarb's not the one for you, then you can always switch out your fruits. So I love an apple crumble. It's a classic. Yeah. It's easy to have in your freezer and bring out whenever you want. Pears is a great one. If you get the right types of pears.
Yeah, dessert pears maybe.
So that they're kind of firm still, and then when they're cooked, they slightly go down in softness, but there's still a bite to them. That's perfect. Or what I also do is, for my emergency puddings, if I have that crumble in the freezer and I have a bag of smoothie fruits, like berries, I'll put that in.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Put the crumble straight on top, no cooking, no nothing, straight in the oven.
That's a great idea, because again, I don't know, but the way it is a little bit at the moment, sometimes it's a bit difficult to get certain things. And when I wanted to run through this recipe, I couldn't get rhubarb anywhere. I went to so many supermarkets and they didn't have rhubarb. And I thought, well, if I can't get it, I'll use frozen. So I managed to get some in the end, but that can always be an option as well, to use frozen fruit.
Definitely. This lends itself so well to things like that. So Jane, will you pop that in the oven for me?
Yes.
And we'll grab the one that we made this morning.
So what are we putting it in at?
So it's 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
So that's quite a short amount of time. If you didn't stew your fruits beforehand, it can take up to an hour, and personally I can't wait that long.
No.
So 5 minutes in the Cook Expert and you've reduced your time by half.
Yeah.
So that's a really, really great thing from the Cook Expert.
I'll go and do this. And I'll bring out the other one.
Yeah, please do. So sometimes what happens to me is I've put my crumble in the oven and it's not quite done, but my custard's done. And so what's really great about the Cook Expert is it's got a dual-walled bowl. So if you miss your custard, or if you want to just leave it there, keep heating but not cooking, then the dual-walled bowl allows for you to just leave it there and it will stay warm for up to 2 hours. So don't worry about if you're at a dinner party chatting away. Oh, look at it bubbled up from the sides.
And so you were saying about the double-walled bowl?
Yes. Yeah. Just keeping the heat in to the custard. Yes. So let me see if I can show you guys. So you can see how it's stewed quite down, and you can see that it's bubbled up on top, and there's a few, like, the almonds have gone quite brown, and I just can't wait for it, Jane.
Yeah, no, that's great. So let's have a look, see how many minutes. So I don't want to put my head in
Yes,
the
of course. Don't do that.
So we're nearly there with the custard. We've literally got under a minute.
Oh, amazing.
So you were saying that if you've done any stewing of fruit and you're not quite ready for it, it will hold the temperature.
Yes, it will.
So that is the case with anything you're cooking in the Cook Expert. So if you're doing soups, chilies, curries, anything like that, making a stir fry, if you're not quite ready for it, keep the lid on, and then it will keep that temperature, it will hold that temperature for 2 hours. So it's really a brilliant thermo bowl, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's excellent in that respect. So we've done this nearly for 15 minutes. I think everybody's got a bit of a personal preference with how they like their custard. If you want it so you can stand a spoon up in it, you might have to do it a bit longer.
Yes.
We want to be able to pour this, so hopefully in a few more seconds
This
we'll
is
be able
how
to do
I
it.
personally like my custard.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you wanted it to be slightly thicker, you can always just run the same program for an extra 5 to 10 minutes. Equally, you can add a bit of corn flour to thicken it if you're out of time. But I would really, really suggest just increasing the time instead of adding any sort of thickening agents.
Yeah.
Shall we get a bowl? Is what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
To spoon this crumble into a bowl. Amazing. Sorry, and the spoon
What do you need?
over there.
Oh, the spoon. Sorry.
Amazing.
Shall we decant this into this jug?
Yes.
So you can see it properly. So again, I'm holding this bowl with my hands. It's warm, but it's not going to burn you. So again, it's really nice and safe. So if you're cooking with kids, or you just don't want to burn yourself, obviously. So it's quite all right.
I'm notorious for burning myself.
This is probably the best place to view, although you're going to see it a bit better in a minute. You're right, me doing it there.
Yeah.
Use this as the handle, but use this as your pouring lip as well. So let's see how we do. Oh la la.
So you can, I hope you can
What's
see
the date?
that.
I'm going to spill it, I know I am. It's quite this is quite a small chunk, so I'm just going to guide it a little bit.
So with these spatulas, so you get 2 spatulas with the Cook Expert, and this one is the silicone one, which goes in the thermal bowl, the metal bowl. And then you also get a plastic one, which goes with the food processor attachment. And they're so good because we don't like waste. We don't want to be wasting things. So to get around the sides, it is really easy to use these spatulas. They're perfectly designed. Even better is it's a 2-in-1 spatula. So the inside bit, so you can scrape the bottom of your metal bowl and it just perfectly lines up and it won't scratch it. So as much as you go at it, and trust me, I've tried, it will not scratch it.
It's a brilliant little bit of gizmo.
It is, isn't it?
Silly to go on about a spatula, but it really, once you use it,
I
you'll
love
be like,
it.
we know exactly what they mean. So, shall I do a little delicate
So you can
dollop?
see,
That is lovely.
and you can see the little flecks of vanilla.
How much more do you
through.
want?
That's probably
One
good.
more?
Yeah, go on. Why not?
That's such a gorgeous smell as well.
Jane, I'm not even going to wait. I'm just
Get
gonna
in
go.
there, girl. Get in there. Go on, go for it. Let's have a wee taste of this side. Oh.
Do you know what? The almonds really, really make it. That crunch from the almonds is just perfect.
Definitely. And there's enough softy stuff and enough crunchy stuff. Softy stuff, crunchy stuff, and the fruit underneath. Give it a go, folks. It sounds it's such a British staple, and for summertime puddings, I think this is fab. You can make this with the kids. You can rustle this up really quickly when you've got friends over as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, emergency dinner.
Emergency pudding.
So remember that we are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and that you can join the Facebook community. There's lots of inspiration on there. And ask a question any time of day. We will be there answering them for you. So please. All right, quite not 24 hours.
We're not there 24 hours.
But please ask any questions. Let us know where you are from and what you want to see from us next. We do want to be back, so hopefully they'll let us, but I'm not sure, but we'll see. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, have a great time. See you soon.
Bye.